Hi and welcome back. So I'm continuing on with this little sketch in my book. It's day 4 and of my 30-day challenge. So I'm doing the black swan from down the coast, that lovely stay I had recently. I'm just going to spritz the paints. So I've done my first wash of some colours in here and some Viridian, mixing some Australian red gold into the Viridian and some French ultramarine blue in the foreground. This is under the jetty, so I just want that nice light there. Okay, so now this is all dried off, I can work into all these sections. So I think I'll start with getting the jetty in. So I'm using some burnt sienna and some Daniel Smith Lunar Black. I've got my flat water brush. So this is basically the underneath of the jetty, which is casting a shadow. Down into the water. Do the pylons. Squeeze if it dries out too much. Squeeze your brush. A little bit more lunar black into the shadows. So usually I am painting fairly quickly, particularly outside if I haven't got a lot of time. Might be on tour, could be just doing this just in between going on a day trip or something, and you know, you could be just getting a sketch in before you've got to go somewhere else. So I think it's good to train yourself to be a little bit fast. Just getting information in is more important. Just building it up, adding more. Maybe I'll have some. Okay, so I'll clean my brush off. It becomes very clean. Right. Okay, so I need to work more into this area here, bringing some depth into the water. Now into the lightest section, I have some little waves. And I'm just using the same colour, it's Viridian. I'm just following my picture that is in front of me to see if I was outside, I would just be following the scene in front of me. Let's bring that through there. It would definitely be easier to mask out this bird with masking fluid, but it isn't always possible to do that went out travelling. So into the distance, those waves will get a little smaller, just a bit of a perspective of bigger, larger up front and smaller as it recedes. Continue over here. Okay, so coming through a little darker. I'm mixing some Viridian into red gold. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing the depth of tone in and leaving some light for the light on the water. So this is the darks that I'm putting in. Now the deepest part would be directly under the jetty. So this is where I would concentrate the depth of colour. Deepening up close into the bird. So I'll just bring out some of the water. As I come forward, and I'm looking at the patterns in my picture of, see the patterns of the water itself. It's rather nice, isn't it? So I really want to keep that going. As it comes forward, it's those patterns are getting a little larger. There's quite a strong section directly under the bird itself. So it's in these second washes that you start to see a bit of progress. It all looks a bit wishy-washy from those first washes and you sort of think, oh, where to next? But if you continue on, you will be rewarded. Okay, so I'm going a little darker now, mixing into, I'm not cleaning my brush from that previous green. I'm dipping straight into French ultramarine blue because down here I'm seeing quite a strong blue. The patterns are getting much larger as I come down to the foreground. And quite interesting in shape. Okay, so I'll leave that for the minute. Now for the bird, I'll use a bit of red for the beak. And some, actually I'm going to start with some Alvaro grey because I can see some greys as well. Always starting with the lightest colours first. My water's just run out. Okay, so some Alvaro grey. Such a pretty grey, that. Has some little speckles of white. And I'll switch to the Lunar Black because I want it so much darker. And I'm going to switch right now to my Neef Squirrel Mix brush. I could have gone to my round brush. And yes, that's got water in it. I could use that. So I'm trying to use what I might be using when I'm out. It's a good strong black, isn't it? That Lunar Black. It's a Daniel Smith colour. It's got so many uses. And actually, even in this little section of this bird, this lovely black swan, that lunar black is granulating, and it's giving the effect of feathers. That's why I love that colour. It just works so well. I use it a lot in my other paintings for rainforests and landscapes. It's excellent. Cleaning my brush out. I want a little bit more water. I just squeeze the brush and out it comes. So I'm just going to connect the base of the black swan to the water and give a little bit of a shadow. Lovely. See how that granulates? That's the lunar black granulating. Yeah, it's giving such a nice effect. Okay, so I left myself some room here for some text, some writing. Let's say black swan, swanning. Around Sussex Inlet. So fun to watch. March 2024. Okay, so you could do any sorts of embellishments. You can come in later and after you've painted and sketch over, paint. That works quite well as well if you just feel it needs it. You can paint first and then sketch later. Okay, so that's today. Let's see what I'll do tomorrow. So I'll let that dry in. Not too bad. Thanks for joining me. Bye.